So I'm gonna, again, kill you and then take note of your gamer tag, and I'll send you a gift. GG, bro.
That was Caleb, one of my most recent gift winners. The clip in the beginning was tweeted to me by his dad, Damon, and basically it was just him winning one of my Dr. P Says games live on my caffeine stream. His dad says he is so excited, him and his brother make it a point to watch your videos every day. Huge shout out to both of you guys, I really appreciate you. If you want a chance to get in on one of these mini games when I go live, make sure to follow me on Caffeine. I'll have the link in the description, of course. And also, while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and drop a like down below. Let's see if we can hit 2,000 likes. So this video is going to be all about the Cattus event that's happening at Polar Peak. In case you didn't know, yesterday I uploaded a video in which I touched on the fact that there is some kind of a monster, it's basically confirmed, underneath Polar Peak. Our best guess is whenever it does that strange breathing animation every minute and a half or so, that is the creature inside breathing, because they are waking up. It makes a lot of sense. I recently saw an unbelievably interesting tweet from Hypex on Twitter. You probably know of him, but essentially he tweeted these 4 pictures. He tweeted the dinosaur banner from the Battle Pass. He tweeted the release date of Godzilla, King of the Monsters, which, by the way, is May 29th. That's in 3 days from the time of me recording this video. The third picture he included in this tweet is one of the skateboard themes you can get that shows Rex climbing up on top of a tower. And finally, we have the leaked image from the Cattus event. This is the eye of the creature, as you can see from the text coding. Literally, it says Cattus eye, so that is indeed the eye of the creature underneath Polar Peak at this very moment. I can also say with extreme confidence, I truly believe this eye on the FORFEIT image is also the same eye that was leaked, the Cattus eye. I decided to go ahead and look up what the eyes for dragons and dinosaurs actually look like, even though one of them never existed and one of them hasn't existed in so long. This is what their eyes are supposed to look like. They have very reptilian eyes, which I guess makes sense because one of them was a reptile, the other one almost certainly would be a reptile. But the Cattus eye that we have leaked, and even the one that's in the FORFEIT picture, both have the rounded pupils as opposed to the slits, like we saw previously with the dragon and dinosaur eye. That's the reason I'm a little hesitant to decree that the creature is for sure a reptile. You know, you think it is, you think it's most likely going to be a dragon or a dinosaur because we've had lots of leaks and lots of theories about those two types of animals specifically. Anything else would be a pretty big surprise. Based on the sounds that were in the files and that were leaked by Hypex yesterday, it sure sounds like some kind of a reptile, some kind of a dragon slash dino. Honestly, it sounds a lot like a pterodactyl. Here's a post from Reddit by user Red Meme Boy. He said, recently, data miners have found audio files linking to a supposed Cattus event. They have also found one of the creature's eyes in the files. This creature will apparently come out of any remnants of Polar Peak, and we will have to defeat it. This isn't the first time I have heard the final boss theory. In other words, there are a good amount of people out there who think that whatever's coming out of Polar Peak is going to be a boss of some sort, and we will collectively have to defeat it. It wouldn't be unlike any of the other stuff we did for like Season 8 with the runes and activating them. As you know, we had to physically move some of those runes to Loot Lake, physically do some challenges to activate the runes, and it was server-wide. Everyone could contribute. That's kind of what I feel like this would be if it did end up being a boss battle of sorts. Imagine how cool it would be if a huge build-up for Polar Peak results in a live event where we have to go and physically defeat some kind of boss by shooting it, by doing some kind of a task or a specific challenge. I don't know how it would go, but just having that event be super interactive like that would probably make it the best Fortnite event of all time. There would be millions of people between all servers, between all consoles and platforms participating in this, and I would be willing to bet it would be just about the most successful event too, if players knew that they were actually needed to help the event go on. Some of these other live events, you didn't actually have to be there for it to happen, but I'm hoping that could change. I think this idea for an event would be about the most creative idea, and I personally really hope we see it. Your move, Epic. Apparently, the word boss is connected by association to the Cattus event inside of the game's coding. That could be just another layer of hinting going on towards what could be happening with this whole Polar Peak event. This next tweet is coming to you courtesy of Fort Tory on Twitter, but essentially he says there is a connection between the new added item named Cat and the Cattus event. Don't know how this white cube will involve itself in the Cattus event, but we know it will be involved in one way or another. My good friend Sir Squabble Sauce says, I know how it's involved. Similar white cubes were found in the old dig sites of Season 8. Therefore, we will be able to dig up Greasy. The white cube in the files is in Greasy, and as you can see from his follow-up image, he did indeed manage to secure some pictures of this white cube in Greasy Grove underneath the frozen lake at this very moment. In case you didn't catch what he said in that tweet about Season 8 and the dig sites, there were a bunch of these similar white cubes under the dig sites in Season 8 that were formed before they actually dug up the vault in the middle of Loot Lake. There was one in the Divot, one east of Loot Lake, and one near Paradise Palm. I'm sure you remember. Squabble Sauce's whole theory here is since the cubes once appeared under the dig sites and we had to dig them up, we could easily have to dig up Greasy under the frozen lake because this is following a pretty similar scenario / pattern here. Just some food for thought for you. It seems like recently, in the past 3 days or so, ever since Polar Peak started doing this weird stuff and making these sounds, we've sort of forgotten about Greasy for the most part and have been focusing on what's going on at the Polar Peak iceberg instead, and that's fair. That's where that giant creature is hiding, not under the lake. It's just funny to think about because that was all we were really talking about before that. Alright, so now I want to show you what Season 10 could look like, what the map could look like after the iceberg is gone, because it's pretty much an RIP for the iceberg. It's cracking, there's something inside of it. Most of it is going to get destroyed. This is coming to you from user Kina Kingi on Reddit. Huge shout out to you, bro. It's some pretty amazing stuff that shows what the map would look like after the iceberg is forfeited, hence fallen forfeit, and also once all the snow melts, because that's been one of the biggest theories roaming around Fortnite for a season or two, that all of the snow biome would eventually be melted away, be that by the volcano's heat, pollution from the new Neo-Tilted and Mega Mall, or simply just rising temperatures. It's really strange to see places like Happy Hamlet and Frosty Flights in the green area, even though they changed the name of Frosty to Forgotten Flights in this concept. This looks great. It's something I definitely would get on board with. It looks like Greasy is even starting to come back a little bit. If I do remember correctly, it looks like the Durburger restaurant has resurfaced in Fallen Forfeit. One thing I want to point out on this concept is in Kina Kingi's view, after the snow melts, the ship sitting on top of the Viking Mountain is not moving. There have been a lot of theories and a lot of rumors about that possibly falling off the side of the mountain. But nope, it's actually still there. You can see it clearly on the map. Now, let me just say, this concept looks great. It looks amazing, and I would personally be all for it. I think it makes a lot of sense. They brought back Greasy, at least in a little bit, and who's to say, if it comes back and brings back the Durburger restaurant, the rest of it wouldn't just melt away over the course of the season, or at least the water would disperse and bring even more parts of it back. The one thing that seems to be pretty obvious about it, though, is the fact that all of the area that came over in Season 7 and attached itself to the bottom left-hand corner of the map was an iceberg. Now, I don't know exactly the rules behind what can float on the water and what can't, what can be at the bottom of an iceberg, but it seems pretty likely that if all of the snow melts, we would end up losing a good part of the land too, and that bottom left-hand corner would become mostly unusable because there's no actual land underneath. It's just a hunk of ice. In the comment section down below, let me know what you think about this concept, and let me know if this were true, how happy you would be on a scale of 1 to 10. Here I am sending out a bunch of my daily gifts. As you can see on the left of the screen, I had a pretty good amount of winners. I was going through the list and sending as many gifts as I can to the winners. I can only send 3 a day, so I'm limited in that regard. So if you've won and haven't gotten a gift yet, don't worry, I've got your name, I'm coming to you. If you're wondering how you can get in on these custom games, because essentially what it is just like hide and seek, Fortnite Simon Says, really cool creative maps and mini games that we play, and I usually give the winner a gift. If you want want to get in on this, it's simple. Just go down in the description, follow me on caffeine.tv. I go live over there several times a week. I add people at the end of every one of my streams. Simply put, if you come to my live stream on Caffeine and you wait until the end of that stream, you will get added, 100% chance. And obviously, that makes you fully available to join any of my other lobbies when my party is public. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate your support. Make sure to drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll catch you later.